Yo, yo, yo.
I'm Matt, and I hope you got your wine.
And I'm Jamie, and I hope you got your ice. And welcome
to M&J Today.
Cheers.
Cheers. We did it! Well, all right.
We did it. Well,
okay, back.
Mr. Firefighter, how are you doing?
Good. Back on to work now. Blessing and a curse. So, I mean, I'm working. I'm making money again. That's good. But I've been stepped away for a long time. I think this is like, 3 weeks now going on without a podcast?
It's been a hot minute. It's crazy to adjust too. Like,
oh yeah. It's not easy. And then I get home my first day and I just want to crash and I just want to sleep. And I know I shouldn't. I know I should probably get back into doing things. But
it's tough though, man. It's you had a really long week stretch too when you first went back. So
I did. Yeah, it sucked. I was like, God damn it. And then they put us in a 2-week academy. So I was like, God damn it. Ruined everything.
Does a number on you, man.
But we're back. Episode 4.
Episode 4.
I
wonder what we're gonna call this one. We're gonna have to use the little dome a little bit up here to.
Yeah, I think as soon as we start rolling into the podcast, we'll say something. It'll be like.
As soon as the wine is halfway
yes,
done.
Exactly. We'll be like, oh, this episode's fucking brought to you by.
The funniest thing is I haven't had a bottle of wine since our last podcast. So
no,
I'm already getting heated. Like I can feel like the ginger in me just wanting to fucking explode.
Yeah. I'm sweating. I'm like hot. Like
I see your forehead glistening.
I'm already feeling it, dude. I'm only like a glass in.
I'm on my second, so.
Oh shit! Okay,
I don't know. At this rate, we're gonna be extremely drunk and probably have the 15-minute buzz super early. To be honest.
Okay, so we stopped talking about something about space, right?
Yeah, we ran out of time. We were getting into it because we kind of blew your mind actually a little bit because you didn't know about the whole sun thing.
No.
Right? How the sun's basically dying, right? So,
yeah.
I think we also got into when I'm traveling, my thought process of when I'm driving and stuff like that compared to everybody else's where it's, just a trip. Mm-hmm. And I look up like nobody else does. Right. And I just wonder, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but.
No. And then when you start to think about it and from your perspective and I always do this weird trip to people. And I know this is going to be a little bit of a rant, but I always do this weird trip to people. And I'm like, how did we get here? And then the basic question or the basic answer of everyone's like the Big Bang. And I'm always like, great, but how'd that get here? I start picking at that rabbit, why? Why are we here? Why is anything? And then it freaks me out because I start thinking about it and I'm like, why is anything?
It's true.
It's weird. And I poke it so much at my wife. She freaks out. She's literally stop. I'm done talking. I'm done talking about this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I'm like, I know. That's how I feel. Why?
It's
just weird.
It's crazy too when you think of everything having substance, for example,
mm-hmm.
Our glasses, right? When you set them down at the table, how they're not actually touching the table. That's what when you go into minuscule amounts and microscopic things like that, it kind of blows your mind when you just think of little stuff like that. It's crazy. You knew that, right?
Wait.
Okay, no.
I want to say I did, but I don't. Why is that? What? Wait, what?
So everything that has structure, basically everything on this planet, keyboard, mouse, they all have molecules in between them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little tiny atoms and molecules, and those molecules are touching. So your desk and your glass, right? There's always going to be a separation. It's minuscule amounts, right? But it's never actually touching.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy.
So if I took my phone, for instance, and I put this on here, this technically isn't actually touching?
like we assume it is, right? But when you go down to a molecular level, it's not.
That's wild.
It is, right?
Wait, talking about this, have you heard about the quantum computer? Quantum physics computer or whatever? Have you heard about that?
Well, I mean, wasn't that in like anima shit, like back in the day, like talking about like quantum computers and quantum physics and all that shit?
Like quantum physics, yeah. But like, have you heard anything about it? Have you like deep dived into it?
I haven't went down that wormhole. I was thinking about going down a wormhole like that because of that new Ant-Man movie that came out. And I know it's like, I think in regards to something like that, right? So I wanted to watch that movie and, you know, hit an edible or something like that and then just get on Google,
man. No, so I listen to Joe Rogan avidly, you know, like, I mean, obviously I want to do a podcast and he's the number one in the world. So why not listen to the best and learn? But I was listening to one of his latest episodes where he has a scientist on there, Minko, I forget his name. I'm horrible with names. But anyways, he was talking about our quantum computer and like quantum computing breaks down things to atoms, like as small as an atom, which is like, we've never had that before, right? I guess, right? We've never had anything that can like actually break down an atom. Is it the smallest thing in the world? Or no, nucleus is the smallest thing. No, is it nucleus or atom?
Well, the nucleus is like the center of
everything.
An atom, I think, is how it is.
Right.
Right. Because when you split an atom for a bomb, right, when it becomes an atomic bomb, that's what happens is you're splitting an atom. And that combustion and power from like the energy from that is what, you know, took out Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. So
that in itself is fucking crazy to think of.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's crazy to think of how such a small thing that when you hit the center of it and split it, how much energy that puts out.
It is weird to think because it's like he actually talks about how nuclear bombs work on that episode. I think you would love it. It's a great episode, by the way.
The Joe Rogan one?
Yeah. I could pull it up. Not like pull it up, but like tell you what episode it is.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know what it is. I've probably watched 1,000 of his.
Oh, dude, I love it. I actually fucking love the Joe Rogan podcast. So his name is Minko Kaku?
Russian?
Kaku? I don't know. I think he's like Asian or something like that. But he's got a PhD, he's a professor, you know, all this different shit. And he talks about like quantum computing. And he's pretty much saying how it like the quantum computer, once it's done, will break things down to the atom level, which will then like, right now you have to do hundreds and thousands of tests on one blood cell to figure out what is wrong with somebody or something, right?
Yeah.
When the quantum computer is done, you just like pretty much put into the computer what's going on and it will tell you what's wrong.
That's crazy.
Instead of all these like tests and trials and errors, it would just be like done. So like we're working on one, Russia's working on one, China's working on one, we're all working on one. And like everyone's got like a different theory on how it works. Like China's just using light, which is really weird to think. They're like using light to make it work, and then we're using electricity to make it work. And he's pretty much saying like anything you can think of to be possible in like the next 10 years will be possible. Like,
so you remember the old saying, with great response or with great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds crazy because I think it's going to monopolize a lot of shit. Like there's going to be people trying to hush that, right? Like pharmaceutical companies and shit like that. Like if you can plug in something that tells you you're wrong, they can't feed you 10 different kinds of medicine and make, you know, tens of thousands.
See, you're brilliant. You're more brilliant than the average person because he talks about that. He literally mentions that. Like if people like big pharma will be no big pharma because it's like, oh, we're prescribing you this drug. That drug doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's just $1 billion drug. And so they give it to you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. And so that will make a drug like that. Like it will cure cancer. It will do all this shit. So like right now that scientist is saying like, there's no laws on that because we don't have quantum computers. We don't have something that can tell us how things are going to turn out in 5 years. Like we don't have that. And so he's like, there's no laws. He's like, but as soon as that thing gets built and like the true power of it is displayed, he's like, the government's going to be behind on laws because like the shit it can do, I guess, is pretty wild. Like pretty wild.
Well, I mean, So like in sports betting, there's been programs out there for years that'll actually run the game, right? So let's say we got Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They take this information and they put it in the computer, and this computer runs all the different scenarios hundreds of thousands of times. So like a passing play, running play, and then it'll give you a breakdown of who they think is going to win that game and what the score is going to be.
Is it pretty close?
It's pretty close. Like it's,
Damn.
you know, I would say from what I've seen and what I've bet on personally, like I've listened to these things to make bets
A
and
good
stuff
bet.
like that.
Damn.
And like I've seen the computer picks go like 12 out of 14, like 12 games correct out of 14.
Whoa.
You know, and often. So
Okay.
and they've even picked like crazy upsets that I've also put on my tickets and
Damn.
one with like,
Wait.
it's crazy. But like and that shit's been going on for years. So can you imagine
True.
like what a quantum computer, like you could run a scenario of what's going to happen to the planet in the next 10 years, and it's going to run every kind of scenario you could ever imagine and come out with, you know,
The
an
outcome.
80% truth of what
Yes.
what it could
And
be.
that's what this scientist is saying. Like, it's like, so I think there's, you know, aliens, different beings out there, extraterrestrials. I think they're out there. I mean, I'm just going to say it bluntly. A lot of people don't, but I do. And he was saying that this machine would go up to their like lowest technology. He says that if there are extraterrestrials, which he believes in, they're like 10 times
Oh shit.
that black. What's in that wormhole?
You are
Like,
fucking
that shit's-
frozen solid, bro.
I'm Matt, and I'm doing a podcast.
Okay, I think your lips are back in sync. You look like one of those old Korean movies with the subtitles, and they're like,
Wait, really?
yeah. We're good.
Okay, let me
now.
turn off
That's
my
going in the bloopers.
Wi-Fi and
just so you know.
everything. Let me turn on my Wi-Fi and everything like that. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
Your Wi-Fi. You run your computer on Wi-Fi?
No, like that. No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm hardwired, but like my Wi-Fi on my phone, I guess. I don't know. Fuck. But where was I? Yeah. Anyway, so the quantum computing or whatever, you know, like this can tell us like outcomes of like how shit happens, how space travel happens, how all this shit happens. Like that'd be wild to know, like how these things are traveling, and I don't know. It's gonna be really weird.
Would be wild to know. It'd also be pretty wild that, you know, they open that up and you go pay $25,000 and they take a little speck of blood and they tell you when you're gonna die, how long you have, you know, what your kids are gonna be, you know, like everything. Like,
Oh,
I know that's probably getting a little too futuristic. Like that's probably almost like a movie, but
honestly though, dude, I mean that's the shit that like is honestly gonna happen. Like seriously, that's what's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna be happening too, and like that to me is fucking wild. Like I don't want to know that just yet. I kind of do. Okay, I kind of do. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do.
I would kind of, I'd probably dip my feet in the water a little bit, but
I would dabble. I would be like, what's the lowest price? What's the lowest bundle you got? You know, you got a cheaper bundle.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna tell me everything, but like pretty close.
like low class bundle. Come on, hook me up. Put this shit on my benefits, bro.
So like 10 grand is gonna tell me when I'm gonna die. The 5 grand bundle, like I don't know the day, but I want to know like what's gonna happen. But like not really though. No, that'd be weird, bro. If you went in, you sat down, bloop, dripped a little bit of blood, fucking quantum compute, blah, 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 fucking receipt comes out. Oh yeah, 59 stabbing. What? No.
Imagine though, like the doctor comes out and says, "Sorry, man, Tuesday." Like,
It's on Tuesday.
It's Friday afternoon, and you just spent 10 grand, and this motherfucker comes back out and says, "Bro, Tuesday, you're getting hit by a bus, brother."
And then you're like, how do I stop it? That's the next bundle.
That's the add-on.
20 grand extra will tell you how to avoid it. Final destination type shit. Whoa, that'd be weird.
I mean, at that point, you'd have to sell your house, and you'd have to probably spend the money, right? You realize you got 3 days left to live.
Yeah. You're like it's your life or your life.
Can you imagine like not getting
there
the
is.
add-on bundle though? And you wake up Tuesday morning and you're walking fucking everywhere looking for buses and all this shit. You know, you're just scared to fucking death that which bus is going to be the one.
Every time you go out to the outside, you're like,
and then all of a sudden you're just like, it's nighttime, like fucking Tuesday night at 8:30. You're watching the fucking Stanley Cup playoffs or something like that, and a fucking bright yellow school bus ramps off the curb into your fucking living room and takes your fucking head off.
You just hear brakes screeching, like,
yeah,
that's weird.
Like you think you just got through the day.
You finally crack a bottle of wine. You're like, oh, you're listening to M&J today. You're finally chilling. Just
fucking school bus comes through your living room.
Dude, that would be, see, I don't know. I don't know if I want to know that. I don't know if I want to know that because I'd be too scared, honestly, of the outcome. I'd be way too scared. Like, I don't know, man. I don't.
Are you one of, you're afraid of death? I'm assuming? Like kind of scared?
I just don't know what happens after.
I think I embrace it. So
do you?
I do embrace it because, you know, death has been a part of life since the beginning of time. Right. And that's just not in relation to us. I'm talking about, like, again, in space, like for everything that has lived, there is a death of it. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Stars, galaxies, big bangs, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Dinosaurs.
Like, and anything that has life comes to an end. And that's just inevitable. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't want it to be like any ill will against me, like in going out when I'm not supposed to go out. Right. But
car accident or something tragic,
like it's crazy. But like deep down, my thoughts too, that all these horrible things that happen is kind of like a balancing, to be honest.
I mean,
that's, you know,
put it like that, it kind of is. If you put it like that, I mean, yeah.
Like if you think about it, if there was never any bad car accidents, if planes didn't crash, if trains didn't derail, you know, bad fires, explosions, if none of that happened and people are still out fucking every day and they have gazillions of babies, you know, the planet's going to be overrun. You know, so
would be.
That's where, you know, death is a necessity. Like, no matter if you don't want to think about it or not, death is a necessity in order for us to live. Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty weird to think that. Like, everything has a cause and effect, and that's one of them, is like death and life, you know? Like, have you ever just looked at the statistics on like how many births there are a day? Like how many children are born a day? That's wild.
It is wild.
It's like every 11 seconds or 9 seconds or some shit. Imagine that. Every 9 seconds or whatever it is, you're sitting here, there's a baby being born. Yeah, but then you look up deaths and it's like just as quick, if not quicker.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild to me.
It is wild.
Like we're in like a race of like not being able to keep up almost. Like we're like, if we stop producing tomorrow, bro, we'd be extinct pretty quick, dude.
Yeah, can you imagine like if fertility wasn't a thing? It'd be
we couldn't have children anymore. Like 10, 15 years. I mean,
what would we have? We would have, I mean, like from the last baby that was born, let's say 11:23 p.m. my time, that kid's got what, you know, a good life. 90? That's crazy to think of. I know it would never happen in our lifetime because it's like, obviously
I think
childbearing has been going on for millions of years, but
have you ever heard Elon Musk theory? Like he thinks that we're like under birthing pretty much. Like he thinks we're, you know, going on the opposite route. Like he doesn't think enough people are having babies.
Like I know it's dropped.
He has like a feeling like we're not like having enough children. Like if you ask him like, why'd you have 8 kids? He's like, well, someone's got to fucking repopulate Mars. You know what I mean? Like he's literally said that. Like,
I mean, also though, like, yeah, okay. You know, Elon Musk can have 50 kids if he wants to. He's got the money to do it. You know, you think of nowadays how much everything is in inflation. It's crazy. I can't think of having another kid. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I couldn't think of having one.
Young people like you, like, you know, you got a dog and stuff like that. And it's really a life discussion now to be like, hey, like, you know, do we have kids? Do we, first of all, bring them into this planet? Because it's fucked up. And then on the second thing is the finances, right? Because it's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse. And like, we went out today and the wife for the first time, like, she doesn't really ever talk about it, but the wife for the first time goes, you know, like, the fuck is this really fucking $50? And now we got something small, like it was like literally small, like coffee and some like little shit, just something small. And I'm like, yeah, welcome. Like every time I leave the house, I just think, well, there's $100 gone. Even if it's just to fucking go get gas, there's $100 gone.
Yeah. You go to Costco, you know that motherfucker bill's 300. You know it.
Oh, $300-400, you're done. Done. We go there and we're like, we always bet. We're like, how much do you think this can be? And we look at the cart. We're like, $277. And wife's like, $380. And then it comes out like $450. We're like, what the fuck, dude? Can't spend anything for another week, man. But I mean, and then there's always like that counteract, like where you're like, well, we did need this stuff, you know? Well, we didn't need all this stuff, but it's like, no, it's not, dude. Everything's fucking expensive, man. It's weird.
I've thought about this. Like, I've honestly thought about this. And if you went to a Costco and you paid the $65 membership fee for a year,
yeah,
but then you go to Costco and all you do is you go there to eat. You have 2 meals a day.
Yep.
Right. You're spending $4.
Right.
A day.
It is cheap. It's cheap.
You would be making money. Like, it's crazy. Like, you go for a grocery shop. Like, I don't know how much you spend on groceries, but I spend probably close to $200 to $250 a week. It's bananas.
We probably do like, well, we go like every 2 weeks, and it's about 300. So just below you, kind of.
Yeah. So I'm about $1,000 a month, just on groceries. Now I go and eat a Costco hot dog for $1.50 every day for 30
and it comes
days.
with a soda. And yeah, and it comes with a soda.
You get a hot dog and a drink. You know, I'm paying what, $40, you know, and then my kids
and their pizzas are like $8 for a full fucking box of pizza.
It's wild. Like, dude, like for here, I think it's like $10, but like the pizza you could feed, you know, a family of 6 probably.
That thing is massive. The box of pizza, I'm like, are you kidding? And the slices are big too. You're like, dude, what the fuck is this, man? This is crazy. You're right though, I guess. And like we do the executive membership. So like you pay yourself back, like you get 2 or 3% of whatever you spend over the year.
Yeah.
It usually pays the membership and like 2 tanks of gas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we use it for like fuel and fucking our membership again.
Yeah.
It usually does about that. But I guess you're right. You kind of would be making money just eating.
It is wild. Like if I fed myself and my 2 kids every day, I'm sure they would get sick of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, by the time they get home from school, you go and you make a Costco run for a pizza or supper or whatever it is, and you're probably, you know, in a week spending $75 maybe at the most.
Damn. I mean, you'd be saving hella money. But like
that's $300 a month.
I mean, it's pizza though.
Yeah.
How much do they love pizza and hot dogs?
You got like poutine, but the thing is, like, I can go and make smoked ham on my smoker for 10 hours and, you know, do some really nice potatoes up and like some asparagus, and my kids don't fucking eat it anyways. They ask for hot dogs.
I know.
So why wouldn't I do it?
That's the wild thing about kids I don't understand. Like I think I'd be a good parent, but like that's one thing that fucking irked the shit out of me is that. Like,
you have no idea.
Here's your tri-tip. And here's your fucking Brussels sprouts that I fucking got some onions on there, and it's got brown sugar glaze, and then, you know, a side of rice. Here you go. It's a beautiful dish. Anyone would eat it. They'd pay money at a restaurant for it. And kids are just like, Cheez-Its, corn dogs, mac and cheese.
So
no. You get what's on the plate. The kids are just like this. No, not today. No, not today. I watch my mom go through it. It fucking irks me. I'm like, Mom, slap that baby. I mean, obviously I don't mean it, but I'm like, Mom, slap that baby. That baby needs to be slapped. No, that baby needs to eat the food that's on the plate. Nope. Yeah. Mom tries to stay stern. She's like, eat your food. Mom finishes her plate. What do you want? You got to eat. In the kitchen, making a second dinner. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So
Kids make no sense to me.
When I was on keto, this is when me and my wife were still together. I was on keto. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm the main cook at the house, right? My wife can't cook anything. She's very limited. But like I would come home, make a full keto meal for myself as I'm preparing a second meal for my daughter and my wife, and then a third smaller picky eaters supper for my little guy.
Oh man. See, that's the worst.
That's how life was for like a year and a half for me. It was crazy.
No, and that's not good. And it's not sustainable because it's like you're doing too much and
Yeah, I
you're
don't do
working
that
all
shit
day.
no more. I'm telling you, you eat that
No.
motherfucking summer.
Yeah, and that's the same way. See, my mom got into that trap. Bless your heart, Mom. I love you, but she got into that trap of like my sister, her daughter, won. She won 100%, fully won.
Yeah.
Won the fight. Like whatever she gets, she gets. My mom can't. My mom can't cook a normal dinner without my sister being like, "Nope, not eating that. Don't want it. Don't want any of it. Nope." It's bullshit. To me, I'm like, dude, my dad would like, you're eating dinner, you're not eating. Bye. And then they would all get up off the dinner table and go to bed. And my dad was like, you're staying right there. And he had instilled the fear in me, so I didn't want to leave the table. You know, I was like, oh, I also didn't want to eat his fucking octopus soup or whatever the hell he made that day. You know, that story to me just is so vivid. Like he made octopus soup one day, and he was like, you're gonna love it. I'm like, okay. And I hated it.
I really want some chicken nuggets right about now.
But I wasn't the kid that could bitch and complain. I'd be in the corner all night, you know. So
yeah, I get that.
I was like, I guess I'm eating this shit. And I took one bite of the fucking octopus, and it was hella chewy. And I'm spit on my napkin. My dad's like, if you ain't finished with that, you ain't going to bed. I'm like, Dad, I hated it. Well, as soon as they all got up and left, I fucking dumped it down the garbage disposal, and I was like, yum, Dad. That's so good. I'm not even hungry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, make that tomorrow.
Yeah, just do seconds, please. No, it's shit's, dude. Nowadays, man, kids. But what do? That's the other thing. Is like it's your kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You know,
it's your kid.
They like to push your buttons though. Kids like to press you and see what your breaking point is, because they'll not listen to you and they'll annoy you and they'll bug you and act out and stuff like that, and they'll see how far you can get it until you raise your voice, and then they know how far they can push it in the future. You know, I can push this shit for 2 minutes without Dad yelling at me, so I'm gonna fucking push this shit. And that's how they do it. But they're geniuses, man.
You know what? We need a quantum computer so we can tell, hey, how do we fucking deal with this little turkey butt over here? How do we deal with this child? Like, what do we do? Like, what do we actually do? Because does anyone actually have parenting down? Now that you're a parent of two and you've had them, raised up a little bit and they're, at the age they're at, do you feel like you got parenting down? Like if you had another, it'd be an ice skate, like it'd be good?
I think I've had parenting down before I was a parent.
Oh,
to be honest.
Okay. I like that. I like that answer. Good answer.
I'm not the typical guy in a sense of all aspects of what a male should be. I'm different in regards to how I am with my emotions, how I am with other people, and how I reflect those emotions with people as well.
Right.
So I was very involved with like my nieces and stuff like that. Love babies. I've always loved babies and small children, and playing with them and the laughs and everything. And I honestly, like when we had our daughter, I had to initially train my wife on all aspects, like how to swaddle a baby, like change the diaper, like and I was the one that took the drive. Sure, she was with her daughter, at night sleeping. I was still working and stuff like that, right? So she was up all night with her and getting 2 hours of sleep, and then up all night again, and trying to do breastfeeding, and then bottle feeding and supplementing it. But I taught her quite a bit, and I've always known about that stuff, and nobody's really ever taught me, but I've just and then I see like some of my friends, and like they're just oblivious to some things, right? And it blows me away. But everybody's built a little different, right? But they're super smart about other aspects, that I have no idea about. So
like maybe finances or some crazy shit. But like, dude, I always say, and it's funny you say that, but I always say there's two types of smart. There's like book smart and street smart, and I'm total street smart. Like you couldn't put me in a classroom, I wouldn't know anything you're talking about. But like street smart, and it doesn't mean like I'm growing up in the hood or anything like that, but like just street smart, like I could get around, you know what I mean? Like I know a lot of, I've learned a lot of life quick in my life. But like none of it's book. My wife, on the other hand, is very book smart. Like very down to the T, went to school for a very long time, 9 years in college, like very book smart, like very like straight path, but I see things past those like blinders, like where she'll see something, I'm like, that doesn't seem right. It's not right. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think with like kids, my mom used to always babysit. So I think I have like a pretty good understanding, like changing diapers, feeding, like what's wrong when they're sick, how to put them down for bed. Also, I hate saying put them down. Worked in a nursing home for a while. I'm going to go put down room 10.
Yeah.
Everyone's like looking at me like, wait, what? Dude, hey, can't put them down, man.
I mean, room 10 paid 10 grand. She knows she's going.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go put down room 10. If you know what I mean, about time. No, but like I hate that term. So like I know how to like put a child to sleep and things like that. But bro, having one is like a fear of mine. Like I don't.
Oh, you'd be you'd be an incredible dad. I know it already.
I think so, but I'd be
tell.
like, it's so consuming, and like I'm a very like with ADHD, bro. I think one of the worst traits of ADHD is like the overwhelm factor. Like I get overwhelmed quickly. Like if there's anxiety. A lot going on. Yeah. If 10 people text me that day, bro, I'm responding to 9 of them because I'm like, fuck, I got to read all this shit and respond to all this. Like I have to think past one person. Like it's weird. Like ADHD, it's fun. It's goofy. I'm all over the place, but like, bro, it's overwhelming. And so with a kid, one of those little tantrums, man, I would lose it. I'd be like, oh, it'd be so overwhelming for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure my wife has to deal with it. I'm that way. I'm that kid, I'm a child, bro. Like we'll go to a store and we'll pass by a go-kart racing track. And I'm like, come on, it's right there. She's like, we're not doing that today. We have shit to do. I'm like, come on, it's right there. Like I'm a kid, dude. I'm a little fucking kid. So I know if I had kids, we'd all three of us be sitting there like, come on.
That's what would make you a great dad though. Yeah. Just random go-kart rides in the mall. Crazy.
It'd be dumbest Dumb and Dumber looking at my wife like, we're going go-kart racing. That's all there is to it. It's right there. It's easy.
Can we go to Costco for an ice cream after?
We're getting a Sunday after we race cars. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard for me because I want them just because the thought of it. Like, oh, you should want to raise something that's like you. But then I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want them to be just like me.
It's a life change. That's
quantum computer. We need a quantum computer to tell me how the kid would be and how it'd be.
Exactly.
Also, have you ever thought, I mean, you're probably a good parent, so you probably never thought this, but like me, I don't have kids. I don't know how good of a parent I'd be, but I always think like, man, I wish I could just have a kid, but for 4 years already.
Oh, like
off the bat, 4 years old.
Yeah, well, that's adoption.
But then I'd be I would literally be the movie Big Daddy. Yeah. What do you want? Yeah. What do you want, Frankenstein?
You're not wrong.
Want anything? Just go. That's
hilarious.
But no. So I mean, I don't know. How far are you along here?
On my bottle?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm rinsed already. What is that, like a half glass? You're empty. No shot.
A little bit.
All right, I'm gonna pour this all in, and then we'll do a glass comparison.
Okay. Also, I learned this a couple years ago. Yeah, it was. We didn't have anything else, so just pulled this off the shelf.
It says 2.
I don't know how to make it not
your blur
blurry.
On there.
There it is.
2 to the power of 2, so that's 4.
Yep.
Nice.
But the little thumb. Did you ever notice this? The thumb.
What?
So you can pour. That's how you pour. That's why they put that little divot in the bottle of wine.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Nope.
It has to be like a good bottle, but like this.
If my glass would have shattered on my desk, that would have been a bad day. We just slow. We won't try that again. That's where I'm sitting.
No. Oh shit! I'm full. So I guess I'm full.
All right.
I don't know why I did that. Intrusive Thoughts won there. Intrusive Thought definitely won.
That was the quickest bottle of wine I've ever drank, I think.
I am feeling it. I'm feeling it. I got the giggles. I feel it. I really do. I'm still sweating.
I don't even think we got 45 minutes in yet, bro.
I don't think we got 45. But here's the deal. We don't have to end it here. You still have a lot. I have a full cup. So, I mean, we can just keep going until we go.
Yeah, let's just talk while I sip this out because obviously I'm going to beat you today.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's get back to the like the real, I guess, thing that we were talking about on the podcast. So the space aspects.
Space. Go.
Exoplanets. Do you think there could be one out there that we could inhabit? Have you
exactly
like
you
looked
talking
into
about?
that?
Exoplanet.
So there is some studies of going on, like of different planets of, you know, potentially that could sustain life.
Are you talking about that big satellite we launched a while ago and we saw pictures of like a planet that looks like ours?
Well, you mean like the James Webb Telescope? Like
yes.
Okay. By the way, if you're listening to this and you don't know what the James Webb Telescope is, look at Google and some images. It's bananas.
Weird.
Bananas.
It's actually weird. It's weird. It's weird that we have that technology. It's weird.
It is. But you know what's funny? You know, somebody grabs a fucking Crunchy bar and steals it out of a gas station, and you got a fucking camera that looks like a fucking Nintendo Wii. You know what I mean? On surveillance.
It's not good. It's like, how do we have that, but our security cameras are the worst?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't get that.
You're talking about a satellite to look at other planets and things like that. No, but talk about that a little bit. So wait, so there's exoplanets.
Exoplanets, basically planets out there that could sustain life. There's some names of them. I can't remember. There's a couple I think that they're looking at. But like even in a sense, if they can sustain life, like the vast differences would be crazy. So there's I think one of them, there's more gravity on Earth. So you would feel heavier. You wouldn't like be walking around like what we're used to. The gravity would be substantially more, you know, and it would be a completely different thing. And then there's another one where the gravity is less. You know what I mean?
Like lighter almost?
Yeah, you would be lighter, you would jump higher. You know,
bro, I bet basketball players,
your voice would sound different.
Wait, really? Because of gravity, your voice would sound different?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And then the James Webb, actually bringing up the James Webb Telescope, I just seen something pop up that they actually finally identified something that's in the middle of the black hole, which is bananas.
Wait.
So,
bro, this shit blows my mind. And I'm the type of guy when I'm listening to a podcast and someone starts talking about it, I'm like, don't stop. Like, don't get sidetracked. So wait. They identified something in the center of a black hole. Like, what did they identify? What are we talking about here? What?
I never got to read the full article, but I watched like the breakdown of it. So it had the black hole, and then it had like a spectral of light in the very center. So before, when they're trying to look into these black holes, they can't see anything. You know, it's just mass that exists that sucks everything into it. You know what I mean? It just takes the life right out of you like a bad marriage. It's crazy, you know? And then
like the analogy, cheers to you.
But like these black holes just like suck the life out of everything around it. And it's just back to that thing. It's just death, right? Yep. A black hole is essentially death, but they looked into this black hole. And I think like inside of it, they found it was like a minuscule galaxy, I want to say, from what I interpreted it. Whoa. But it might not be that, so don't, you know,
no quote me
on that. But
we're not scientists here.
Yeah, we're not. But if you can like check out the article though, the James Webb black hole, just Google it. I'm sure you could find it. It's like all this shit fucking interests the shit out of me, man. It's crazy.
I have a question. Okay. So when we see a black hole, or when we see like another galaxy, right? Because we can see that, or no?
Well, we can't see that with our eyes.
With this telescope.
But James Webb Telescope has seen vast amounts of galaxies. It's crazy.
So here's my question. With that galaxy, is it like in retrospect to ours, is it the same size? Or are we talking smaller galaxy, smaller planets, smaller things?
I mean,
or could they be bigger things?
Yeah,
bigger?
Yeah, 100% different. You know what I mean? Like, galaxies are, you know, different sizes, but like in retrospect, when you're looking at them, like through the James Webb Telescope and the pictures and everything, they awfully like they all look awfully similar. Like it's actually scary. And then to like take that and divulge how we are inside of one of these, it's like an egg. So we are inside one of these eggs, one of these galaxies, and we have a sun, which is heating us to the perfect temperature where we can sustain life. And then we
Right.
also have a fucking moon that's rotating, and we're all rotating together in order to have night and day and sustain this pendulum of, you know, life, essentially. Because if one of those things got knocked off course, we're done for. You know, the sun gets too close to the earth, we heat up, we all die. The sun gets too far away, or the earth shifts and gets too far apart, it's instantly minus 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and we all freeze to death.
What?
It's mind-blowing. And then what's even crazier is that heat from the sun takes years to reach us. So like we're getting the heat today from what has happened years ago. Like
What?
it's
So yesterday, today, I guess, today, it was 88 degrees. That 88 degrees was from a couple years ago.
yeah, well, you think of like how fast the speed of light is, and then
Right.
then you realize how many light years and like how many kilometers away the sun is, and for that heat to get from that sun to reach our atmosphere and everything, how long that takes, how long that process takes. Right? Of course, it's happening every day,
Yeah. Dude.
but like for that to reach us is
So
it's-
I know I probably, to a lot of people, I probably sound dumb, which I may be. But listen, so all these other galaxies are quite like ours. So you're saying
they look
that
identical.
in other galaxies, there's a solar system quite like ours, maybe not as many, maybe many more planets or many less, but where we are in retrospect to the sun is
See,
another
but those other
galaxy's
galaxies have
planet.
suns too.
Right, but it's like, so say the distance we are away from our sun. In those other galaxies, that distance, is that their planet too? Like their sustainable life planet?
See, that's not the case, because if they don't have a supernova star that can provide heat for the planet, the planet's a dead planet. It's either iced over or it's too hot to live on. You know,
So they have to have the perfect Earth. Like they have to have the perfect.
The fact that we are here doing a podcast of M&J today on episode 4, me and you discussing space in a vast object, is mind-blowing, because in order for us to be here and alive, regardless of a big bang or, you know, God made us or whatever the fuck happened, we still are on a sphere spinning in a vast amount of space that has black holes that can suck you in. And we also have a moon that lights up our darkness and a sun that gives us heat in order for us to sustain life. And you put all that together and it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. And how there's not another one of us out there, if that's how rare we are, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And then that's where I think of that we're the fucking aliens. That's why I think that. But hey, you know,
I mean,
there was dinosaurs, and then all of a sudden there was people. You know what? There's some fucking food for us. Let's take our fucking ship. Let's go to this fucking planet that has water and dinosaurs. Let's go fucking eat these cunts. You know? And we're
Dude.
aliens and we're living here.
For real though. For real though. What if that was how we got here? Fuck the Big Bang, fuck Adam and Eve. Maybe it was a spaceship desperate for food, and they were like, what are these beans? What are these things?
Right? Let's
We
go
ate
try
the
some T-Rex
dinosaurs.
steak. That thing's got little arms. He can't even attack me. I don't know, man.
Dude, it's just weird to think, because it's like they're so back to the quantum computer, quantuming computer, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm fucking losing it. But listen, back to that thing. There's so many like things that could have happened, but we are here. And it's weird because like when that scientist was talking about like you just said, and it's wild that you already know this, and I had to listen to a podcast to even understand it. But like everything we have right now is like perfect. And the reason everything is working is perfect. But like if one thing didn't mesh up and we weren't ready to like interlock fingers for a scenario, everything would be gone.
Game over.
That's wild to me. And I don't think a lot of people think like that. I think a lot of people will hear this and be like, whatever, dude. I'm still gonna go drink my Four Loko and fucking go to a party tomorrow.
That's
But
what I mean. Like when I'm
is
driving, that's why
wild.
I look up. Like at nighttime, don't you find it crazy how, it's a nice clear night.
Yep.
And you look out and you see the same stars, they're all laid out the same way. It's like a canvas. Like it's the same canvas every night, but yeah, we're spinning. Like we're traveling on this axis.
Wait,
and everything's perfect, but the stars stay the same. Like that fucks me up in the head too.
I never fucking thought of it that way, Sniped. Or Jamie. I've never thought of it that way. It's habit. But I've never thought of it that way. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Why is that? If we're spinning that fucking fast, if we even are spinning that fucking fast, why is it every day I look out this window, I can see the Big Dipper over here and the Little Dipper over here? I know that for a fact because when I take my curtain off of my window, I've done it before, and look that way and look that way, I have the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. Why is that?
And then the Medium Dipper between your legs.
They're the same, honestly, the same type of like struck. Like if you think about okay.
But I'm wondering if it's because like we're spinning so fast. Like, have you ever spun a ball super fast and it loses all structure on that item? Like a basketball, for example.
Yeah.
You know how you have the lines and the leather and the hole where you inflate it and stuff like that? And then you start spinning it on your finger and all that texture goes away.
I have seen that.
Do you know? So all of a sudden it's just an orange blob spinning on your finger.
Even like a football.
Yeah.
Letters, lines, laces, you throw that in a perfect spiral. It's just a brown blob moving.
Exactly. Really. So like we might be moving so fast that like we're just seeing the same thing, because we don't see the spin. Like we're not going to be spinning ourselves, right? But it's crazy how they are like in the same spot all the time. It's wild.
I don't, dude. And I always think like, and I tell my wife this too, and I know I've already said this, but like, how and why are we here? Right? Same thing is like, how and why are those stars right there always, every day, never moving? Also, okay, is this just me? Or like when I was a kid, I remember it vividly. The sun would go up and be up all day. And then as soon as the sun would come down, the moon would just start coming up. Why is it now? I don't know if it's just me or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe when I was a kid, I never really realized this. The sun comes up and the moon's like right behind it now.
So, well,
what's up with that? Why? What are we doing here?
Obviously, like different times of the year, you're going to get different, portrayals of what you see. So you might see that moon really high in the sky, but it's breaking the cusp of the earth, right? You know what I mean? Like, like the way the light reflects off everything basically makes it seem kind of like where it is. But you can get the sun really, really high, like when it's starting to set, and you can get that moon even higher than the sun sometimes. And midday you can see the moon sometimes. Like it's crazy how, and this is what I mean, how wild it is for everything to come into play for us to be here. Like it's wild. And then you take into the pyramids and stuff like that, and that's an even like ancient civilizations and shit like that. That's an even bigger wormhole to go down.
And how they've all like pointed to a certain position, and they're all like, dude,
they point basically like true north, and then like all the factors of the speed of light is like factored into the pyramid, and then you take how you can't even fit like a piece of paper between those blocks, and they were all handmade, but they brought these blocks that are tons of weight, miles and miles and miles, and they built this thing. Like how? You know what I mean?
I think about that all the time. How the fuck?
I know how they did it.
Did pyramids? How?
A technology with light.
100%, right? The one that lifts.
Technology with light or technology with sound.
Have you seen that guy in Florida that owns that like nursery or whatever? It's got like a bunch of flowers and plants in there, and no one's seen him do it. But there's like all these structures and statues and rocks in his place.
Yeah.
No one knows how they got there. And this is the only guy on record. He owns the place and never hired a single fucking hand. No workers. And all these sculptures and structures and all these stone will go up. And when you go and ask him, like, how did you put that there? He goes, oh, that thing over there. and it pans over to this old, rusty, beaten up winch with an old, really frayed rope. And you're like, you moved all of that with that. And he's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How? How's that guy doing that?
That's why where it comes back to that, my idea of like us inhabiting the planet, not like we were put on the earth, but like we inhabited it. If you look at the ancient, like imagine you go to a planet to try to survive. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just think about this for a second.
Okay.
Your world is ending. Earth as you know it is ending. Okay. You take a ship, you move to the next planet that you think is inhabitable, which happens to be, let's call it planet X. Okay.
Okay.
You get to planet X. Everything's great. You know, the planet is survivable. There's plants, there's nutrients, there's everything that you need to survive there. Correct. But how do you get all the other people from Earth to planet X? Now, let's say you're trying to build something to communicate and relay basically like a GPS coordinate. Mm-hmm. But you have this technology. So you build this giant pyramid, okay, that is the perfect amount tall as it is north, south, east, and west, and measures a certain amount of time in order for those people to basically get there. Mm-hmm. You know, and then you take that pyramid, and that is basically your iPhone. That's your GPS coordinates. Or, you know, your ship doesn't work, you can't get back there, you know, and you build that thing as something useful, not just a tomb, as many people think.
Like a landmark, kind of.
Yeah. You know, like a direction to navigate.
Right.
I don't know.
Like how we drop pins in Google Map, they drop a fucking... But also, do you think that the pyramids have like some sort of energy in them?
I do.
100%, right?
I think they're made so symmetrically that they were built that way for a reason and a use.
I feel the same way.
Whether it's like magnetism, like something with the earth maybe was more magnetic back then, and maybe a magnetic field is how they move these blocks up or something like that. You know, it could be... It's crazy how we don't know.
Kind of how like the Bermuda Triangle right now, like no one has like a real like direction of what is in there or why. They just know that when you go in there, electrical things malfunction and shut down, and we lose ships and planes and people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking now, like, is this totally off guard? And tell me if it is, because I know you're more brilliant in this than I am. But is this totally off fetch to say, like, you know how on a wheel on a car, it has to be balanced just right, otherwise it'll be off, right? And we have to put balance, like little like metal pieces to balance the wheel.
Yeah,
weights on the wheel. Are the pyramids the weights to Earth?
I mean, that'd be a lot of fucking weight in one spot.
I mean, it is, right?
I mean, like those things are like,
how much do those weigh? How much is a full? I know how much the blocks weigh, but how much does a full pyramid weigh?
I don't even know. I don't even know if you could measure that, to be honest. Like how many blocks you have on that thing, and like you're 10 tons a block. Like it's...
How does that stay where it's at, weighing as much as it is? Because you can build a structure on an unsolid ground and that ground will sink.
I think it's because, well, you know, like
you have to reinforce ground before you build a home on it. You can't just build a home on it.
Not necessarily, but that's a home. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like millions of kilograms of weight here, right?
See, we say, you know what's weird is like we say pounds and we say miles, and you guys say kilograms and meters.
Well, I say pounds normally, but when you're talking about something that big, it's like you put it into retrospect. Let's say it's 100 million kilograms. Mm-hmm. You're gonna know that's like 2.2 million pounds.
I didn't know that. I just know pounds.
Well, one kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So
also didn't know that.
But there's conversion.
Kind of stupid here. I feel like.
Anyways, it's like millions of pounds, right, for this weight. So, if you're swimming, you jump into a pool, right? Your feet hit, you go right in the pool. Okay. Right. You take a floaty, and you run and you jump, and you land on that floaty, and you can almost knock yourself unconscious.
Yes.
Right? Because there's a bigger surface area which prevents you know, you just going in the water, there's more surface area. So this vast pyramid has so much surface area and so much weight that it's basically just embedded itself and it's there. You know, I think the only thing that would, like, if there was ever like an earthquake or something significant under that fault line or something like that, if, you know, that was the case, it'd be a very bad day. But
so like we have in California, I don't know if you ever heard of it, but we have the San Andreas Fault.
Yes.
Okay,
that was a great movie too.
Yeah, great movie, right? So do you have something like that up in Canada? Like,
no.
Oh no, you don't?
We don't have earthquakes here. Hardly ever.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, hardly ever.
You don't have earthquakes?
I've never had an earthquake where I live, ever.
Wait, you've never got to experience an earthquake?
No.
Wait, dude, earthquakes are wild. They're wild. Wait. It's like you heard stories of earthquakes. Obviously, you've seen the big San Francisco one. And
yeah, well, I've heard about it. I've seen movies. Like the closest thing that I've ever experienced for an earthquake is I was going to get a pretzel in the mall, and there was this black chair, and it said 25 cents, and I put the quarter in there, and I sat on there, and I was like, so that felt like an earthquake to me.
Bro, I've been in earthquakes before. I've had probably 10 experiences with earthquakes. I would say the most vivid and like the one that sticks out is my dad owned his first or second home, actually. Sorry. He lost his first, or not lost, but I guess they sold or whatever. Second home they owned had a pretty big backyard. And I was like, Dad, I'm sick and tired of fucking sleeping inside. I just want to sleep outside. And I hated my stepmom. I'm like, I just want out. I don't want to visit you and be in the house. I want to be outside. So we put a blow-up mattress outside. We're setting it up. I told the neighborhood guys we're all gonna have this big sleepover, me and 4 other dudes, and we were gonna set up this tent. So me and my buddies are over. We blew up the mattress. We're getting everything out there. We're getting snacks ready to go. We're getting the fire pit placed up, and we look. So there's a fence right here. We're setting up our tents and stuff here, and our home's over here. So we all turn and we look at our home. And our home's this way, and there's one big window that looks right into our kitchen. And then our kitchen was getting remodeled. So everything was in our kitchen. And then when my dad started remodeling the floors, he'd move it out and back in. It was really weird. But there was all these shelves and everything. And we started looking in there, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And all the things on the shelves were vibrating and moving. And we always put things on the kitchen or on the refrigerator. It's things fell off the refrigerator, and we're sitting there and we're like, what? And then it hit us. And it was it was like a movie, bro. It was like what you would imagine in a movie to be an earthquake. You're like, this is staged. It's got to be fake. But we're watching this happen. It's like this ripple effect to us. Our home's shaking. Everything's falling. We hear the crashes now of everything. And then all of a sudden it hits us. And it's the weirdest fucking feeling in the world. We're shaking. You lose your balance. Your legs start going. And then your head. And all 4 of me and my buddies all fell back on the mattress, on the blow-up mattress. And we were like, dude, we were just praying it ended. We're like, what the fuck, man?
That's crazy, man. We're
on the mattress. The mattress is shaking. It stops. We get up. We all look at each other. We're like, what the fuck was that? It was our first earthquake experience. So we were all like, what the fuck was that? And we're like, that's an earthquake. My dad comes running out of the house like, you guys good? We're like, we're good. Are you good? And then you get the aftershock. And I never knew what that was until it happened. But it's the only way I can explain it is a quick jolt. It's not the same, but it's
okay.
It just happens. So you have the earthquake where you're fucking this for a minute or so. It feels like a minute, but it's probably
and then the earth dabs.
Seconds. And then the earth dabs real quick on you. So that's what it was. So we all stood back up. My dad's like, you good? You good? We're all good. We're like, we're fine, man. How's the house? He's like, it's fucked. There's liquid everywhere. There's glass everywhere. And the next thing you know, we fucking... We're one more big one, bro. And we all fucking ah! Dude.
That's crazy.
Earthquakes are wild, dude. Earthquakes are one of the wildest. I've seen fires now up front and personal. I haven't seen a tsunami or anything, but I've seen videos and shit like that. But earthquakes to me are the most scary. You have no control. You feel so controlled. A fire, you can run. You probably could die, if you don't leave in time. There's evacuations you should leave, but fires, you can avoid fires. You can avoid a lot of things, but earthquakes, dude, scariest thing.
Well, even still, what if an earthquake happens and it opens up? It's game over.
That's the other thing. Ground opens up. You shake the fucking ground. Oh fuck.
I got to call it 15-minute buzz. So I finished first. So that is on you, sir. I got one little drip in here, so I'm going to take that.
Okay. Fuck, I got to pick the subject.
15-minute buzz. Anything you want to talk about for 15 minutes.
I pick it, you talk about it, or you pick it, I talk about it.
No, you pick, because I finished my wine first, so you got to pick it.
And then I have to talk about it.
We both talk about it.
Oh, okay. For 15 minutes. I'm drunk.
Jamie? I'm fucking drunk too. One thing I haven't had yet on this podcast.
Oh, you got to do it, right?
I have to.
You have to. It's
Usually
actually tradition.
Usually I take my shot of Jack Daniels when you're fucking up the intro 20 times.
One time. We're getting better. It went from 20 to 10 to 4 to 1. Next episode, I mind you, the 5th episode is going to be immaculate. Immaculate. It came out of nowhere, I'm sorry.
And this is where it begins.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, do you like my hoodie?
Oh, I love that. Whose is that? It looks like a goddamn piñata.
It's a Fortnite hoodie.
Oh, where'd you get that?
I bought this shit a long time ago when I was playing this shit.
There's a clip on Twitch of me going, a piñata? And everyone's like, no, it's a llama. And I'm like, that's a piñata.
It's Larry, bro. Larry the llama.
You know Larry the llama. Okay, we got to play Fortnite sometime, dude. I feel like I haven't played in so long. Are you in?
I'm so in.
It's got to be Duty's.
It's got to be
Call
like
these fucking me.
It's got to be like after me, you, and Hansi do the podcast next week. After we get like some liquor and some weed in us or some shit. Then hop on Fortnite, because that would be a riot.
Oh, that would be a riot. That would be good.
And we would all have Fortnite's to trio stream.
Yes, that'd be, see, because Fortnite's one of those like weird, like almost childish games, but you also have to lock it in. You know, I'm sweating, bro.
Yeah, I'm rinsed. Did you hear the news about Fortnite?
No.
They now have a ranked, just like Apex, just like COD. They're gonna have a ranked Fortnite mode.
Wait, we're gonna lose so many people from Warzone because of that.
That's the thing, because all the big BRs like Apex and Call of Duty have these ranking systems built in. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't like to watch streams of people playing pubs all the time. You know, they want something to have some weight on them. You know,
exactly.
Seeing somebody go from like silver to gold to platinum to diamond. You know,
it's iridescent to top 2.
Yeah. So it's gonna get a lot of new viewers, I think. But
iridescent. What is iridescent? What is that on the scale of things?
That's a Valorant thing.
Well, there's now iridescent in COD, but like, what is it? So like, it goes bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, iridescent. What is is iridescent a material?
I thought iridescent was like.
Is it like a ruby?
No, I want to say it's like
not ruby.
So like a piece of glass. Depending on how much you can see through it.
Oh,
I think, or like how much of a reflection it gives back or something like that is what iridescent kind of means. But I could be completely wrong. Look it up right now.
Okay, what is iridescent? I'm not the best at spelling.
Hey Siri, what's the definition of iridescent?
Oh, that's smart.
Iridescent
that is smart. That right there,
luminous
folks,
colors
is smart.
that seem to change when seen
I'm checking
from
my
different
heartbeat.
angles.
I was right on the money. Really? Showing luminous colors that seem to change when seen from different angles. So like if you're looking, you know how like you look through like a piece of glass and it hits the sun just right and it has all this spectrum of colors?
Yeah.
That's like iridescent.
Okay.
That's what I think. Anyways, what the fuck are we going to talk about?
15 minutes of talk. Okay. 15 minutes of buzz talk is going to be about
iridescent.
You said it.
No.
Okay.
We can't do that. How are we going to talk for 15 minutes on?
I don't know. It's red. 15 minutes of the buzz talk is going to be about.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay. Hold on. Can we play the music?
I'll edit that in.
Okay. 10 seconds.
No, you have 5 now.
5? Wait, start over. Okay, wait. Think hard. 10 seconds of anything I want. We have 15 minutes to talk about it.
It doesn't even have to be like anything crazy. It could be, swim club.
You're at loss of words too. Okay.
So somebody was at your fucking doorway, bro. I'm not even tripping.
Are you kidding me?
You got a fucking ghost or some shit, dude. I am gonna fucking replay that back to you. There was a full ass body with a leg standing by your fucking doorway, bro. I thought your wife was looking at you.
What?
Is that a mirror behind you? Is that a mirror behind you?
No. What? No. That's a fucking no. It's a door.
No. To your right. Behind you to your right. By your bed. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh my God, bro.
What?
It's your computer tower, but your camera fucking lagged out, and it looked like a doorway, and it looked like somebody fucking standing there. That's crazy.
Bro. Okay. All right. 15-minute talk. You ready?
Okay.
15-minute talk. Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Done.
Well, you got one, so tell me all about it.
Me. Okay, so here we go.
Start your timer.
Oh shit! Right. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bum, boop. Okay. Everybody see this? 15 minutes. Now.
Perfect.
Okay. So so I worked in the nursing home for a very long time, like 3-4 years. And it was weird because I didn't believe in ghosts until this part. I always watched all the ghost shows. I always watched all the like documentaries and all this shit. I didn't really believe in ghosts, and my hands are fucking sweaty right now. You scared the fuck out of me, dude.
Wait till I send you that clip.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. And I worked in a nursing home, and I was like, okay, so a lot of the time in the nursing home, you're short-staffed, and you have to work extra hours. So we usually work 8-hour shifts, and then if you get held on, which you have to like work, it's like this really weird loop that nursing homes have where they could just hold you. And if you say no, they're like, neglect, you're fired. You're neglecting people. They got you. So you'd have to roll into a 16-hour shift a lot. So I was like, my first 16 is like my first week there. They're like, you gotta stay. I'm like, okay, I'll stay. I'm the new guy. And I'm sitting there talking to knock shift people, and they're like, yeah, we got some ghosts. And I'm like, you're lying. There ain't no ghosts in here. And they're like, no, we got ghosts. Like, a lot of people die in here. Like, we got ghosts for sure. I'm like, ain't no fucking ghosts. So they're telling me a story about how there was this dude in like a white like a white, like almost like a robe, wearing a white robe down the hall. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't fucking tell me that right now. Like, I'm easily scared, but I don't believe in this shit. But I also am like easily scared. Don't tell me this shit. And they're like, no, it's true. Like, what would happen is this call light would go off. And the call light system, I think you're probably familiar with it, but for people who aren't, all rooms have a button. You hit the button, you need help, a light pops up on this panel. It tells the nurses and the nurses' assistants what room needs help. And they were like, this call light would go off. Bing. And then when you get up to go down the hall, it'd turn off. Boom. And then it would go off. Bing. And then boom. And it would just keep doing that. When the people got up and walked down the hall, the lights would go off in that one section hall, and there'd be a silhouette of a man in the end of the hall. And I'm getting chills now thinking about it. Like my hair just stood up because it's bringing me back. And I'm like, listen, that's a fucking joke. Like, funny joke, but no. A call light goes off. Bing. I'm like, normal call light. Get up, go down the hall, get to the end of the hall, last room. I'm standing in the doorway about to go in there and help this guy. Probably shit his diaper. I'm going to help him change his diaper. I don't know. The light goes off, and I'm like, Go in there. I check. It's a 4-bedroom. Everyone's asleep, sound asleep. And I'm like, back out, start going down the hall. The light in the kitchen's flickering. And I'm like, There's no one in the kitchen. So I walk all the way down the hall. I go to the nurse's table and I'm looking at the nurse. His name is Alan. I go, Alan, you're fucking with me, right? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the light in the kitchen's flickering. Like, who do you got up to the job right now? It's my first fucking night on knock shift and you're going to do this shit to me? He's like, it ain't me. And then out of nowhere, the call light goes off down the hall, same room, and the fucking kitchen, the radio goes full blast. And it's not even a radio station that we're even fucking like available in our area. Like we have like 94.5 K1, 101.3, 103.3, and 105.9. And it's like our country and our basic channels. It's like some fucking crazy channel talking about some crazy shit. Crazy. And me and the nurse look at each other and we're like, what? We both get up now and walk to the kitchen. We open the door to the kitchen. The lights turn off and the radio's off.
Wild,
radio's
man.
Unplugged and the lights are off. Explain that. I don't know how to explain it. Explain it.
I have a story as well.
I want to hear it. We have that only took 3 minutes, by the way. Go.
Wow.
I always talk fast. Fast.
That was crazy.
Okay, go.
Oh man. So I was living in not the city where I am now, but like kind of like a suburb, I guess is what your US fancy talk would be.
Right.
About like 20 minutes from here. It was a small town. I was, oh man, I want to say 11, 12, something like that. So our basement was kind of always like creepy as fuck. And it's crazy because I still don't know if I was dreaming this or if it actually happened. But me and my sister were fighting this day. So my sister collected all these glass unicorns.
Okay.
Like tons of them. Like if you're listening to this podcast, sister, I'm sorry. But I don't even think I told her this story after this though, but we got in this huge fight and I took the shelf of all these things that she loved and I fucking tossed it. So the shelf fell over and they all fucking busted. I got my ass whooped and everything for that shit. But in hindsight, we were on a lunch break and she tried stabbing me with a knife. Ended up breaking her hand. So, you know, I think she kind of deserves it. So I got her back. Yeah. So anyways, regardless of that.
By the way, I think every sister has tried to kill their brother. My sister chased me around the house with a butcher knife. Okay, back to
I think so.
Okay, go.
So that night I go to bed. Okay. I am sleeping in my bed. I'm upstairs. Okay. And I hear the shelf fall and all the glass break. This happened already. Okay. This is what was fucking mind blowing. So I like sat up. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, kind of crazy. I must have been dreaming. Right. I go back to bed. And about an hour. And by the way, this was 1 a.m. when the first one happened.
Okay.
I woke up to a shelf falling and glass breaking. 2 a.m. on the fucking nose. It was crazy. So I got up. Nobody else in the house woke up. Like my mom was in there. My sister, I think she was, I can't remember if she was sleeping downstairs at the time or if she was upstairs with me. But regardless, this happened a second time. I go downstairs and the shelf's not there because we had already cleaned it up. So nothing fell over, nothing smashed. Right. And we have like these little like non-rated for fire windows that'll trap you in there and you'll burn to death type shit. Like you can't climb out of them. Right. You know what I mean? Like they're so small. Like I snuck out a couple times with them, but they're the ones with the chains. So they like flip down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was like a little blind on it. Right. So I'm like walking around the basement and I hear the window flip open. Right. And the chain grabs. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, like obviously like my sister's sneaking out or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And then I can't even like explain it. Like the blind like came up and it was like morning. And then I seen this like person on the outside of the window, but it's like daytime. It's not 2 a.m. anymore. It's like daytime.
Okay.
They have their hand and they're like going like this. Right. I know, it's crazy. So, anyways, I start walking towards this, and as I get within a few feet, you know, when something's disturbed and the sun hits it, and you see all these dust particles. You can see.
Yeah.
So I see like this light of dust particles, and I walk into that, and I'm just like lifted up. I'm like physically lifted up, and then I'm dropped. It's 2:03 a.m. I'm downstairs in the basement laying on the cold floor. Explain that one to me.
And you were in your room.
Yeah. Well, I went downstairs to check it out at 2 a.m. But it's 2:03. I'm in my basement laying on the floor. The window is closed. Blinds are closed. Shelf's still like gone. That's all taken care of. But I don't even think I've told my sister that story, actually. It's wild.
Don't, because they could go back and like, I don't know, dude. You know what's really creepy? Back onto the ghost story. Explaining with like shit like that, like a phenomenon like that. My mom, when they first got my sister, and my oldest sister lived there, they were always scared of ghosts. My mom is like, ghost. And like scared to the point that like there's no need to be that fucking scared. And my mom and my sister go out, they're grocery shopping, they come home. My sister is like a very scaredy cat. Like you could say your story and she'd be like, Sniped, shut the fuck up, I'm done, and walk away. Literally get off the call and leave. She'd be like, don't fucking talk another word, Jamie, I'm done. And she would leave. That's how scared she is. Just by hearing something, she believes it, she's done. My sister and my mom are talking about ghosts, and my sister's like, I don't want to fucking hear it, Mom. Like, I don't want to hear it. The story was the home they bought, the reason it was so cheap, or the home they rented, but the reason it was so cheap is someone died in there. My sister's like, Mom, I don't want to hear it. I don't like it. Don't want to hear it. I just moved in with you. I don't need this. They get home. My mom's unloading the groceries. My sister goes straight to her room to drop off her jacket to help her out. The door to my sister's bedroom is wide open. And there's, dude, I fucking chills. Right?
I had chills when I was telling my shit too.
Right. Isn't it weird that you kind of go back into that moment mentally?
Yeah.
So they go home. My sister fucking walks through the living room, down the hall, turns, looks in her room. Fucking on her bed, quite like this one, is a white sheet with a silhouette. Like a human. Like outlining a human.
Oh, motherfucker, that was you fucking with your sister. We all know this shit already.
I lived in my own home. My own apartment. They told me this after the fact. Okay. So there's a silhouette.
I can just picture you Rapps in a sheet.
No, I don't live there. 2-bedroom place. I have my own apartment. Okay. That's what I'm saying. You would think it would be. There's a silhouette, white sheet. My sister has books. Just got out of college. She fucking.
Oh, you did the thing again.
The fuck, right?
Okay, hold on. You froze up again.
Oh no.
You said she had. You're coming back.
Am I back?
You still got the lag a little bit.
Oh no. Am I back? Hello?
There you go. I think you're back. Talk.
Am I back? Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Hello?
You're good.
Okay.
You were just saying you had books, and then you froze like that.
Okay. So my sister had books in her hand. She just got back from college. The silhouette's sitting here like this. My sister takes the books, throws them at the silhouette. The silhouette fucking falls over with the books. My sister's like, fuck this. Runs. Tells my mom. Whoa. My mom goes in there like, nothing's in there. Silhouette's back. My mom's looking down the hall. Silhouette's back. Books, by the way, are under the blanket now. Explain that. Silhouette's back. My mom's like, what the fuck? Takes whatever she had in the living room, throws it at the silhouette. Silhouette gone. Reveals the books. They're like terrified. They call my stepdad. He's at work. He's like, what? There's no ghosts in there. Don't fucking worry about that shit. He comes home. He's saying exactly that. Like, there's no fucking ghost. There's nobody in the room. Don't worry. Took the closet doors down quite like these ones. Took them down so my sister wasn't scared. Nobody in there. Fucking sitting down, eating dinner in the living room. And they hear like, boom, one time, like one big slam. Like, what the fuck? They get up, they go in the kitchen. Every single cupboard and drawer is wide open.
Oh, hell no. I'm selling it. Oh, hell no. That's a staple in any horror movie that I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying. They moved pretty quickly after that. They didn't stay there long.
That ghost is hungry.
Yeah. That ghost is like, I'm gonna get you.
God damn.
But here's the deal. So now you were saying I fuck with you. It's funny that you said that because then we go over there. It's me, my aunts, all these people. We're sitting at the dinner table. Perfect timing. Everyone's watching the TV. We're watching The Last of Us. We loved that show. Or not The Last of Us. Sorry, The Walking Dead.
Oh, yes.
We're watching The Walking Dead. Watching it. We're like episode fucking 6 or season 6 or whatever. We're watching it. I'm like, I look over. Everybody's zoned out. Get up. I'm at the dinner table. I get up, open all the drawers, open all the fucking cupboards. And then I get my plate and I go out to the living room. I sit on the couch and I'm like, adjust all shimmied.
You're an asshole.
I'm eating, right? No one knows it was me. My mom gets up. Oh, I'll take your plate. Goes in, fucking drops her shit. Plate shatter.
She thought it followed her. I knew it was coming, bro. I knew you would do something like that.
But it's fucked because like they actually traumatically went through that, and then I'm like, let's see how traumatic it really was.
Oh man, that's a dick move. But I would have done the same thing. I
mean, you have to. But then like I was scared to be there because we left it alone. We went out back, and then we came inside, and they were all closed. And we don't know who closed them. So I don't know if my mom did it and fucked with me, but like they were all closed. So I don't know.
And of course she closed them. She closed them. She had to.
We have 33 seconds, by the way.
Man, that's wild.
25.
That's crazy. Like it's cool how, both of us as individuals have our own unique stories when it comes to that stuff.
You know what we need is in the comment sections this time around, right?
Yes.
Or like to hit up Jamie is someone to bring in stories of their shit, and we will just bring you in for a split. Like we'll give you 15 minutes.
Yes.
We'll give you 15 minutes on the podcast to tell us your craziest stories. So in the comment section below, yes, we'll add that in. We'll do like ghost story time, and it'll be 15 minutes where you can explain your story, and we'll just listen freely. And there's no judgment and no nothing. It's just
don't even have to have a webcam. You can just come in and talk. Yep.
Come in and talk. I would love that.
They could also, if they wanted to, they could write their story in, and
and then we could read it.
We could read it as well. That might be the way to go. That. Actually,
that might be the way to go.
We'll read the stories on the podcast,
and then when we have guests could tell their stories. But that might be the way to go. Write us your stories. I would love to hear it because I know that me and Jason have our own. But there's so many people out there that have gone through some traumatic ghost shit. I gotta hear it.
For some reason, why do I think that Gator has some crazy, amazing story?
You know what's weird? Is Gator might got that. You know what's weird to think that, bro? What? My aunt's super religious and goes to the fucking church all the time.
Yeah.
She's got the craziest stories.
Right?
Gator
and he works
goes
for
to
one.
church.
I know. That's why I think he's got like some kind of wild story to tell. Like
he's got the wild.
He listens to the podcast too. I'm pretty sure he does. So Gator, if you're listening and you do have a story,
your craziest story, bro. Your craziest fucking story, bro. And you know who might have one too? Is Hansi.
Hansi will have one for sure.
He describes stories pretty crazy. Hansi would be a good one to have on.
Yeah. We should get Hansi. We'll talk to Hansi, see if he's got a
timer
ghost
just went off, by the way.
Something. Okay, so that's been 15 minutes. I think we got a good direction. I think we'll pick it up in episode 5, and we'll try to get some other user insights, some viewers. We'll either read the stories, or we'll get maybe a featured guest on here. Huh?
We think episode 5 has got our first guest.
Maybe.
Where are we gonna put him? Up here, down here, down here. Where?
I think. Well, we have to be bigger than the guest. So we'll probably just make us a little bit smaller, remove the podcast icon, and then put them in the middle. Huh? Little sandwich.
We gotta be bigger.
little Matt
Right.
Jamie sandwich of
M&J Stando.
Oh my god.
M&J Stando. Sell it at Costco. $5. Oh, I
What?
got it. I
What?
just got it.
Yeah,
In
right.
the mirror.
Right? But no, I'm telling you, Matt, that like when I send you that clip, it looked like somebody was standing there with like his fucking arm on there, and I thought that was a door frame, bro. It tripped me right the fuck
I'm
up.
not gonna lie, like the night that we got you a hype train off stream, the night you like we were like, cry, Jamie, and you fucking like broke down, but then you were like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That I took it very serious, and I'm like, there's someone fucking behind me. And I was looking at my camera, but I was also like, I don't want to look back. Like that shit's see, I'm super gullible when it comes to that, but I also like don't want to believe it. I'm like, ghosts are fucking fake. But I'm also really gullible. Like if you tell me there's someone behind me, I'm like,
I mean, like it was crazy because like I've never really looked at your camera while we've been doing this, right? So it maybe been like the first time in my peripherals, but the way you came in and you slid in, it looked like somebody walked into frame and was standing at a like a door frame watching you. And then as soon as I said that, gone. Like imagine from my perspective. And then I tell you this and you're freaking out, but it's wild. Wait till I send you the clip.
I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
But I guess we should wrap up episode 4.
So episode 4, did we come to a conclusion on a name?
For what?
This podcast?
No, I'm thinking about, because we're both sweating, maybe Fire and Ice might be a good one.
Fire and Ice. Are you fucking sweating?
I'm
Look at
sweating like a motherfucker, dude. If I didn't have a hat on right now.
The bucket underneath my seat is half full. I'm going to use it for the ice bucket challenge next stream.
Swap bucket challenge. Oh, that is disgusting, bro. That is. I'm sorry to anybody that's listening to this right now. Oh.
Okay. 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 So Fire and Ice or Don't Ghost Me. I like Fire and Ice.
Oh. We'll think about it. It might not be Fire and Ice.
Right.
We should be talking about this shit on the podcast anyways. We'll name it Ice Ice Baby.
What are we talking about?
Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby.
So
episode 4.
I think I am fucking honestly
Rain
like
Man
a
with the
ginger Rain Man. I'm not even kidding.
You're ginger Rain Man with the names. Let's just have this be a statistic. Every podcast we've ever had, Jamie's planned the name. Just so you know. It's quick. Off the top of the head, too. We're sitting there, we're talking, and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, shit just comes to me, man. And you know what? I write some pretty badass poetry. I'm just saying. Nobody's ever gonna hear it.
Wait, what?
But
I
actually submitted a poem in like 10th grade or something like that about the war, and it actually got inducted.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, it doesn't have to be this episode. I would love it to, but an outro, could you do one poem and then end the podcast? Like a poem, done. Click stop recording.
Like off the dome, or one that I've previously written?
Either or. I think that'd be sick. To say our farewells, and then you just end it with a poem, and last line, last verse, done.
I'll think about it.
That'd be sick.
Think about it.
Maybe episode 5 or 6.
Maybe. Well, episode 5, hopefully we have a guest.
Oh, right.
But I might have go have a cold shower, bro.
Dude, I need to cool off, dude. You're in a sweatshirt too, dude.
I know. Well,
I tried to look formal today, and this shit. Good thing I wore white is because this shit's wet.
Yeah, I'm glad I wore a hoodie with no shirt on.
Anyone want a drink? I mean, this shit is just wet, dude.
Some vodka and sweat.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're carrying on too much, but
okay.
Yeah, episode 4 is in the books. It was great to be back.
It was good to be back, man.
I don't know how
we got to do
felt.
5 next week, 6 the next week. We got to keep going. We got to roll it. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people asking, so we got to do it.
We're sorry it took this long. We just had a lot going on.
Right.
Honestly, this helps like my personal situation. So I appreciate you. Appreciate everything that you've done.
Love you, Jamie. Always have, always will.
Our community is, some of the best people that
honestly,
anybody's ever
growing
seen.
quickly and
It's-
the best community. Honestly,
It's crazy, but I guess for now we give an empty cheers
Yep.
because that's all I got. But
Yep.
thanks for
Cheers,
joining. We
Love you,
will
man.
see you on episode 5, and I'm sure it'll be a ride. Till then,
Episode 5,
MJ
baby.
today. Signing off.
Adios.
Yep.